Hi, so today I have an incredibly powerful energetic support and activation session that came through for the collective, and it has to do with helping you integrate a more powerful electromagnetic field. And there's different parts to that. I'm going to take the time to explain it to you right now in this introduction. What does that mean? How it affects the vessel, how it affects the collective, and how it might look like in our personal life. But first, I just want to reinstate here that if you're inclined to watch this video, like I'm not doing anything to your energy, chances are you're already going through this transit yourself, and I'm here to assist you by providing some energetic support as well as understanding of how this energy may affect you, so you know on a cognitive level a little bit, and that might help you in the integration of this energy that you're already receiving. And I want to make that clear. I'm here to assist a process that you've already initiated yourself, because we are our own powers here. We have our own inner wisdom and intelligence, and I just like to help and assist, and this is all I can do. So essentially what I've experienced in this session, first for myself, I know lately there's been a lot of big changes in terms of cutting cords with karmic cycles and energy, things that goes back to my ancestors, cycles that I've been repeating for like the last 20 years, like big things. And in light of that, light codes starting to come in, and I was receiving these energies. I felt guided to receive some support in a way of integrating these light codes and these new energies. And this is what came through. So essentially at the beginning of this transmission, what I felt, it was almost like feeling this giant cosmic rock that was incredibly grounding, but not in the earth stone way, more like in the magnetic way. And as I was connecting with this energy, is I felt like my own energetic self turning into a magnet, and little particles of magnets like flipping and turning to attract this giant magnet, if you say so, everything clocks in properly. And when I felt, it was like grounding times 1000. I cannot describe the feeling, but it was very electromagnetic, and it was amping up something in my vessel. And when that happened, I could feel the energies of calibration that follow to help that all of these magnets were turned in their proper chronological order. So it's not just like happening frivolously or a kind of chaotic way. It just happened in an organized way. So essentially through that, I felt our energetic field becoming more amp. And what I mean by that is, think of our electromagnetic field that attracts certain things into our life and repels certain things into our lives. Now, by adding more amp into our energetic vessel, it means we are attracting more, and we are also becoming more repulsive. And I don't mean that in a bad way, but maybe you were attracting a certain type of men in your life that were wounded. And then over time, you realize that there was a pattern in what you were attracting. And there you see that the energies of, let's say they were wounded or they had trauma, it was becoming less and less and less, but it was still kind of lingering. And you're like, why do I kind of still do? But now trust that with this new anchoring of frequencies and these new light codes that are being really supercharged electromagnetically, these energies will no longer have access to you. It's almost like what you attracted in the past that you resolved, and the conflict that you resolved. Now with this new grounding and this new strength means that things are going to be repelled quicker, if not instantly. If you had energies around you that are really no longer resonating because you've done the work of resolving your karmic past, some energy just maybe straight up expedite out of your energetic field. And to trust that with that is going to make room to bring you more of what you're already getting that you love, or starting to see things arriving towards you that is more energetically in line with your heart, with your soul missions, with your frequency. So, yeah, finally, right? Um, in lights of all of this, I saw a couple of things to first, it was some kind of clearing with the third eye that I felt to in our crown chakra. So I don't want to say the lessons, but the way we're transitioning into this space, because maybe we were just a little fly on the wall for some time. We have this shy personality. We weren't really taking our space, and all of a sudden, we're getting all of this attention. Boom. We're like, whoa, where did that come from? That can be challenging in some ways if we're not used to it. I'm just giving examples, please, just the dynamics. I'm not saying this is what's going to happen, but just the dynamics here. Um, it's just to, yes, some clearing to do with our third eye and our mind, so we can receive this energy in a way that's holistic, in a way that feels good for us, and it's not threatening. It removes the intensity, because yeah, like, I mean, amping up our electromagnetic field, it can, it's going to polarize things in some ways. And that's another thing too, like one person becoming even more magnetic that attracts and repelled more in some ways, in a more powerful way, is one thing. 1,000 people on this planet is another. Now 100,000 people or 1,000,000 people that's becoming even more anchored and powerful in their own frequencies, and that's going to affect the world in some ways. So what I saw in that regard, it's almost like there was a grid around the earth, and as we are becoming more polarized in a way, like more strong in our truth, it's going to polarize the world in some ways that may seem like it's creating chaos. And to be safe in knowing that we do not have to engage in the chaos, we can actually shelter ourselves from it and just stay anchored in our truth, anchored in our peace, and allow this chaos to resolve itself as it will. And there is a plan for that, and we don't have to understand the grand architects of things right now, just to know that by staying anchored in our truth and owning our frequencies, there is peace that comes with that, and freeing ourselves from all of this chaos and allowing ourselves to experience that peace. So for some of you, becoming extra magnetic too, I felt like some hand activation. So if you're someone who are an energy healer and you use your hand, you may find your hands or your healing or the energy coming out of your hands that's even more powerful and potent than before. That is all part of it. So of course, this extra magnetism is going to translate differently for each and every single one of us. But in the end, this energetic transmission is to help you with this transition in a smooth way so you can enjoy it, so you can embrace it, and to know that all is well, and to not fear it, and to welcome it. So I hope this makes sense. I do not speak about any of this during the transmission because I want you to really feel and have that experience for yourself outside of what I might be saying. So the next portion of this video is just straight up energy, light language. And if you are not already sitting in a nice, quiet place, I invite you to do so. Be calm and just open your heart to receive. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Isabel, and welcome to the download. Ese trutta kayanali etri ute siti kianali etri osa sakayatri ese iti unta sianali atra ute si tayanali etri unta siti kianali etri uta. Satraka ute shita satakala atra sitele utra ite uka sa se o se sikaya atra si se untri ki ete uta e kayenteri etri inti e sa se ukra untri shi ata si se kayantara atra ete uti kuntra ata sa sayanali etri uka inti etri uta asa sakayanali etri iti uta sise ukianali etri iti unta sasa kayanali etri uta shita kayanali atra. Si se utra kianali etri uta sa si kianali etri usa si kianali etri uta sa nayanali atra yetri eti inti utra kianali etri kantala atra si kayanali atra etri uta si kianali etri uti si sa takayanali atra yanali vere tre uta kietri eti si kianali atra use sa nala atra eti iti ayanali etri sisa kayanali etri unti ayanali etri sikayanali atra ute sa sakayanali etri unti sisi kayanali etri ayanali etri uta sa sakayanali etri kianali atra kianali etri uti kiantela atra ayanali etri kuntara sitianali atra kianali etri kianali atra susa satayantali etri ientili atra uti, si avere tri unta sa kayentala atra ute si tikianali etri inti, si katra ute shita. Sita kutra iti inti ute satsa kayantali atra ute sisi ti kayantali etri uta sata kayanali etri ayanali etri uta sisi kayantali etri antala atra ekietri etri unta sisi kiantala atra kietri etri unti sasin kianali atra ute sasi kianali etri Kianali etri unta sasa kianali etri unta kayanali etri unti aya veritri inti utra sasa kayanali atra inti kayanali etri si kayantala atra ete siti kianali etri uta sasa kayanali atra iti. Inti de catra unte sete de catra iti kianali etri kuntala atra siti kianali etri kantala atra siti kianali etri unte le sete catra iti utri yanali etri kintala atra siti kianali etri unte le shiti kianali etri sasa si kianali etri kuntala etri unni e veretri tula canta yanali etri iti uti siti kianali atra umme vere etri unti kianali atra siti kianali etri Atra kianali etri sasi kianali etri kantala atra kieteli atra ete uta sasasa kianali atra. Esir kutra shiti kianali atra sianayanali etri utta sasakayanali etri siti kianali atra asati kianali etri utta siti kianali etri unti siti kianali atra anta kayanali etri utti sisi kiantala atra kianali etri unta sikayanali etri kianali etri kantala atra etri untala kayanali atra utte sisi kianali atra sasa kayanali etri untili kantala atra ianali etri unti kianali atra antala kayanali etri unta sasa kayanali etri. Sisi katra unte antala kasa utre kiantala atra yenele etri uti sisi kayanali atra untere antala atra eke tere etri uta sasaka yanali etri aika yanali etri uta siki yanali etri ente utara kiantala atra ete siki yanali etri unta kayanali etri kiyanali etri kayanali etri kantala atra uta sisi kayanali etri antara yanali etri kuntara yanali atra atara kayanali etri uta kiyanali etri sasa kayanali etri kiyanali etri kantala atra ote antala kiyanali etri kanali atra ekayanali etri kuntara aya sayantali etri kiyanali atra kantala atra ekayanali etri sisi kiyanali etri kuntala kayanali etri kuntala antala ata kiyanali etri kantala atra ote sisi kiyanali etri kuntala atra utara sasa kayanali etri eti aka enteri oteru untra kiyanali etri ota kayanali atra yenteri antala atra kiyanali etri kantala atra sisi kianali etri kuntala antala akayanali etri kantala atra kianali etri sisi kianali atra untala ayanali adayanala atra yata yakayatra atakayanali etri utti. Sussa sakayanali atra kianali etri utta kayanali atra. Thank you so much for joining me for this transmission today. Please make sure to rest, drink some water, journal, pay attention to your dreams. And again, thank you so much for showing up on this planet and doing the work and doing what you do. Again, I can see the difference it makes in the collective, and it makes me so happy to know that there are so many of us upgrading, changing, shifting, even though it's uncomfortable. So if you're part of the crew, thank you, thank you, thank you wholeheartedly. My name is Isabel, and enjoy the rest of your day.